before we start tearing down the wall there, the temporary wall, I just wanted to show you that we framed up our door. And the door has a window in it, which is going to be, has a rough opening of 24 inches by 36 inches. When you buy a window, generally they'll say what the rough opening should be on the window. So that's what we've made, and we've made sure that it's nice and square. The other thing was basically it's just 1.5 inches thick, so it's made with 2x2 and 2x4 lumber, and you'll notice the long pieces down the outside. Makes for a really nice connection and joint when you put a couple of 3.5 inches, probably number 10s, into the end grain of the 2x4 going across the top. So when we sheathe this thing in plywood, it's going to be a really strong door. Okay. So anything to say, Jason, before we get going?
Oh, Mr. Gorbachev, let's tear down this wall.
Okay, let's get her done.
Alright, so we've got the rest of the enclosure down. Donald's up there just cleaning up the kind of the corners where we had it braced. So here's what the opening looks like. Have a look here. So here are our problem areas across the bottom here, so I'm sure we'll talk more about that before we're finished. Anyway, so we'll keep on keeping on. Alright, well, here comes Buster to check on what we're doing. And you probably won't see anything now that he's into the dark. He's just checking on, the foreman's checking on the job here.
Okay guys, we've got the main opening all cleared up now, and all we have to do before we're getting ready to put the new framing up is first we have to go through and trim all these boards to get a nice straight line, and then we'll be buttoning the new frames up against it. And I think somewhere in here we've got a friend. There he is. Great big old spider there. Okay, so let's get there.
When we sprayed the insulation and the paint on the walls, we had some overspray. You can see the edge of where the tarps were. But yeah, we had a little bit go past. This will probably be covered in cabinets. We're just cleaning it off in case at some point, if we do need it cleaned up, it's easier to do it now.
Okay, so this has all been sanded all along here. Now our next part will be to put the sill tape on the concrete. See right along there. I can't even see this because of the lighting, but right along here on top of that concrete we'll put some sill tape. It's about the best we could do with the sanding here. Maybe go along with a little piece of sandpaper and a screwdriver or something and clean out any other little bits. This will all be covered with cabinets anyway. Okay, the next part is to put the sill tape on these pressure treated plywood pieces. Those are the parts that are going to go on the concrete. So we've got one here. We've clamped the two lower frame parts together. See, there's the other one. And we clamped them together so they won't tip over, and it's up high enough it makes it a lot easier to work on. I've got a back problem, so I need to try and get things up higher to work on them. Alright, so I'll show that in a moment. Okay, the foam is now up. As you can see, I stapled it. Now, one thing to remember when you're putting this on, now I'm not an expert, but what I've learned after putting much of this stuff on is don't stretch it, because if you do, down here, this would all start to pull back if you stretch it. Now, I put this on with the rib side facing the concrete. Hopefully that's the right way to do it. It's been a long time since I put this stuff on, but if it's the wrong way, I'm sure you'll tell me. So I've done both sides. Used galvanized staples because it is exposed to wet. So next up is we're probably going to put these up now. So we'll see what happens next. And there's our raven friend up there on the left side of the tree, up near the top. Give you some idea how high that up is. Here's the tree. It goes way down, probably another 10 feet below where you see the ground there because there's a hill. And that is a Douglas fir, and it is a pretty big tree. So when you hear him cawing away, that's probably 200 feet away, and you can hear how clear it is here.
Hi everybody, we just put the two bottom modules up just as a kind of a fit here, and a couple of things putting it up. It turned out to be fairly level. It's not too bad. We need to do a bit of shimming here and there to get that just the way we want it, plumb and square. And you'll notice that we have a gap between the two modules. That was on purpose so that it would be easy to put the modules in here, and what we'll be doing is filling that, and then when we sheathe it with the plywood, you know, it shouldn't be a strength issue at all. So what we're going to do is fully secure these two bottom modules, get them all lined up the way we should, and then we're going to put the top two on, and then we're getting pretty close to putting some sheathing on. So I think that's about it for now. So overall, things are going pretty good so far, anyway.
All right, so here's when we had the plastic up before. You can see plastic ran along the edge. So we used those pieces of wood to screw on there. So we're pretty lucky to have that. And you can see we've got the same thing over on the other side. So that helped us secure it up there so we could kind of keep going.
Okay, we got our four frames up now, and what we're going to do now is just do a bit of fine tuning here to get to try and get things a little bit more leveled up, and that'll make it a lot better when we're putting in the windows and the door. So what we've got rigged up here is just your basic what do you call that?
Lever and fulcrum.
A lever and fulcrum here, and we're going to lift the middle, and then we'll attach this framing to the building, and that ought to just about do the trick for us. So let's go here and see what happens. Is it still catching?
No, we're good. All you have to do is check the level, I think.
Okay.
I've already moved it up some.
Okay, that's looking real good there. And it's looking real good there. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the ticket right there, that's for sure, Jason.
Now we're just pinning it so it won't drop down again. There you go. Sit on reverse or something.
Yeah, well, that's from the solar. Just keep the pressure on.
Yeah, I'm on it.
And we're using the 3.5-inch number 10 screws to anchor this for now.
Do you want to get stirred on the other side here so I can look over that? Got a frisky cat behind the camera running around.
Yeah.
got a cool day here, clouded over. Now we can shoot outside. It's not windy and the sun's not on the camera, so now we got the camera outdoors. A few more days and I should have my field recorder, and then we'll get some better sound quality. Okay, I can probably let off this now, can I?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Okay, so still.
Tilted a bit. Put a bit more pressure on it. Let me just stick another couple.
It's actually it's the floor that see, look at the floor moving.
Oh yeah, okay.
So
that's as good as we're gonna get then, isn't it?
I think so. Do you want me to let her down or keep pressure?
Not yet. Okay.
Alright.
Can you just pull that right out of there?
Yep.
Okay, that's looking fantastic. Okay, that's
Good.
great. So now what we got to do is kind of put this all together. We need to do a little bit of shimming and space filling, and then we'll be looking at putting the sheathing on. So let's get to it.
It's now morning. I have gravelly voice, so excuse that. We're working now on the left side here. We're putting a nailer in for the plywood. You can see, I'll zoom in here on it. That part right there, you see we're putting in, it's kind of piecemeal. We're saving materials there on a part that it's not really necessary to put a whole board in there. We can just use the pieces. So that's what the plywood will be screwed to. So we'll show more of that shortly. All right, Don is up there. He's attaching all the frames together. It should strengthen it up.
We've now got the frame put into the opening in the building. So everything's attached, everything's pretty square. Actually pretty happy with the way everything's turned out. We've added 3 blocking pieces here for where the door hinges are going to be. So again, it's going to be a 4-foot door with hardy plank on it, so it's going to be pretty heavy. So this makes sure that we won't have any problems with hinges failing and that sort of thing. The next step that we're going to do is we're going to sheathe this in plywood, 1/2-inch plywood. We're going to put some tar paper on, and then we're also going to install our insect and animal barrier underneath here. So you'll get to see that coming up. One of the things that you've probably noticed is that we have some weird ladder looking thing here, and just want to talk a little bit about that. When we did our risk assessment for the house, we have to get up and do gutters and a lot of building above our heads and things. So what we decided to do is to set up some kind of a ladder that's easy to move around so that we can work pretty safely. So first thing we did was we went out and we bought a platform ladder, so you can actually go up the ladder and stand on a platform instead of standing on rungs all the time. Plus you get a bit of support up near the top there for your legs and things so you don't fall off. The other thing is, because we have a lot of uneven ground, we have to wheel the thing around. So we went and got some flat free wheelbarrow tires and put them on a axle through some, these are called pillow block bearings, and they have a grease nipple on each of them. So that should withstand being outside a lot. We just covered the shaft with a piece of 3/4 inch PVC, and then we braced everything across here just to make sure that things don't twist. And there's times where we're working on uneven ground. So what we've set up is a single point which we can lower and raise to get a nice 3-point, because anytime you have 3 points you can be on stable ground. So basically there's just a pin here that we pull out, and we can adjust it up and down as required. So this ladder is really actually pretty helpful to us, and again allows us to work above the ground a lot more safely. So if you're wondering what it was, that's it.
Well, thank you for joining us. Leave a comment or a question if you have any questions or comments. And if you like the video, click like. So we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. It's actually, this is a lot of fun, so look forward to doing the next session for you. Take care now.